Good afternoon, or good morning as it still is. I'm Darren Lloyd. I'm the IS manager for Newport City Homes. First of all, I'd like to thank BT and Microsoft for inviting us here today. We're quite passionate about the use of UC within our organisation, understand the powers that it can bring us, and hopefully today you'll get an understanding of what OCS and what Lync does for us. Newport City Homes, we were set up in March 2009. We're one of the largest registered social landlords in Wales, responsible for the upkeep of some 10,000 old council homes, so to speak. We've got the lovely task of bringing those up to the Welsh housing standard. Being a new organisation, we're also in the enviable position of having a clean sheet of paper where IT was concerned. So basically everything from the ground up. But we realised pretty quickly that integration and innovation were basically key to our success. So 18 months on, where are we? Well, we're voted this year, 2010 British Computer Science and Computer Magazine Small IT Department of the Year. We've been the focus of numerous UC case studies by Microsoft, GN, and our friends and colleagues in Dell. The benefits that we've seen from UC and from the use of OCS and Lync have spread through the organisation, really. So where did we begin? Obviously, the first place you start with such a major implementation is with the business case. And you probably all know the one for UC can be slightly complicated in, do you focus on the soft side of it? Do you focus on the cost savings? So we put a little slide together here of sort of like what we did as an organisation that maybe you can take away. So obviously, what do you want to achieve? Well, high on our list of topics was actually agile working. We wanted to sort of like expand communication and therefore the expansion of knowledge and data and intelligence outside of the organisation. We wanted our users to be able to work from anywhere, and they can do. With the Lync and OCS, we have people working from home, from hotels, anywhere across the world. They're able to log on from anywhere. We also wanted to bring social capital. The use of instant messaging sort of extends social capital between departments. It encourages that communication. It brings down the boundaries that you get associated with some of the decision-making processes. So now we find that instead of trying to arrange a meeting to have a particular decision made that could be made over 5 minutes, we use IM. And all of a sudden, those bottlenecks have been removed. And so the decision-making process on how we treat our tenants or how we actually deliver some of the services are actually done there and then. We don't have to wait, like we said by some of the other speakers, for a meeting to be arranged future in the date. Also very important, we mentioned it here as well, is federation, but collaboration with our strategic partners, with Dell, with GN, with Microsoft, with BT. We've got the extension of communication, again, outside of the organisation. So I don't log support calls with Dell. I don't log support calls with Microsoft or BT or GN. I instant message them, and I've got hold of them straight away. If I want to order a laptop, I instant message our account manager. So I don't have to go through the process of waiting for him to go through his whole list of 100 emails before he gets to mine. It's popped up on his screen. He can give me a quick answer, and then he can go off to the quote, and within 15 minutes, I've got a quote added onto our finance system, and it's delivered the next day. Support calls, like I said, they can dial in, they can take control of the desktops, we can have the conference in between. And again, we don't have to be in the workplace to do that. And we've already mentioned that Darren's in London today, but you can still have your desktop, controlled by one of your federated partners and actually log onto your servers and do the work that way. Again, mentioned with the snow, business continuity. And that can mean anything from your guys can't get in because it's snowing, they can still work from home, to you actually lose a huge part of your network and your building goes down. Because OCS and Lync, you can access the systems through a broadband connection. You can go to one of your partners. We could go to local council offices. As long as we've got broadband connection, we can give them voice, enterprise voice. We can give them instant messaging. We can give them desktop sharing. We can give them video conferencing. Everything they need roughly to do their jobs, we can provide. And if they need access to back office systems, again, through them, we can give them a VPN. But you don't need a VPN to run OCS or Lync. It's encrypted anyway. Research the market. Pretty important, this actually, because in my previous employment with the police, we had Nortel switches, probably about 45 of them. And before we knew about Microsoft, obviously, the idea was we'd use their UC solution. Because we've got their PBX, because we've got their infrastructure, we'll use their UC solution. Not necessarily, that's not where you're going to get the benefits from. You'll get the benefits from the integration with your back office systems. So your Office 2010, your integration with your Outlook and your SharePoint. Because Microsoft build Office and on all of those products, and they're in 90% of organizations, that's where your benefits are actually going to come from. Administration, and from a user point of view, of being able to use the systems quite easily, but also from an IT point of view, how easy is it to add a user within OCS? Well, I can tell you it takes about 30 seconds within Active Directory. You do that with a PBX, and okay, I've got to go down with my patching tool, I've got to go down with my frame, or I've got to go down and put a Power Ethernet switch in, connect all of that up, put a phone in. Well, now I don't. I connect a user, I send him a phone in the post, click it in USB, he's up and running. All of that time that I've actually saved my team, from actually going out there and doing it. And those are the little things that you need to identify when you're actually out in the marketplace. Those little small things. You might go with one of the other providers, but you'll need to put in Power Ethernet switches. So that's an investment. It's a hidden cost that you might not have already done if you haven't gone down the voice route. Now, you can save on the cost of, £1,500, £2,000 for a switch for Power Ethernet. You can have basic standard ones for your normal data network and USB for your phone. The live demo. Now, this is probably the most important part of your business case. It's very easy for me to come up here and you can see the demos and things like that through a PowerPoint presentation, look how powerful Presence is, but it's not until you get your executive team and your decision makers actually there using that technology. And it's very important that the guys who are actually coming in and doing the demonstration for you can come to site to do it. Now, I mentioned that when I was with the police, we were with Nortel, and we had a great relationship with them, but they wanted me to sign up to a buy before you buy pilot. They wanted me to go through my whole procurement system to actually get them into on a pilot for 3 months. And if we liked it, then we'd buy it. I didn't want that, and it's really difficult to actually get that out to the right users. You actually just want to show them a presentation and all the systems, the endpoints, the different types of phones and headsets and the video conferencing, and you want to be able to show them that actually I'm now connected with broadband link. This could be you at home. And our partners in Dell were able to do that. They actually came down. They probably spent an hour setting up the servers on a desk and all the endpoints with different laptops, different phones and things like that. And they showed our executive team. And they showed them the power of presence and the ability to actually see what it means to individuals. Probably the best area and the people who actually saw the most potential were the guys in the contact center. Because all of a sudden, previously, before we had a solution like that, there'd be an agent calling from a customer, I need to transfer it to somebody. Blind calling various different people within the organization, minutes at a time, sometimes ending up with a voicemail. Now, automatically, they've taken that from what could be a 5-minute call down to 30 seconds. They can see the availability of people within the organization. And if they can see they're unavailable, they can go into the contact card, they can look down the list and they can see who their subordinates are, who their managers are, who's in the same team, and again, transfer the call to them. Very powerful. Cost savings. We discussed this earlier today as well. PBX, travel, that type of thing. I think when we were working with the police, we had, like I said, 45 PBXs. I think our maintenance agreement was something like £85,000. With one clear swoop, I could have saved them £70,000 year on year. That's almost paying for your UC deployment, and then every year you've got a £77,000, saving. Now, if you take that in today's climate, doing more with less, saving money but actually being more productive, that's a massive, because we haven't just taken a PBX, which was the telephone call with them, we've given them everything else as well. So it's almost a no-brainer from that point of view. They didn't take it, by the way. I don't know why. Soft benefits. These are the things that just keep cropping up all of the time. Things that you don't realise. Obviously, you've got the more productive workforce. But if we take the guy that's in the contact centre that's actually getting so frustrated because he can't pass that call on and he's getting abused down the phone, well, all of a sudden, you've taken that away. It's actually a less stressful environment for him to be working in. And then he's actually been able to take another call quicker. So the throughput of calls are that much quicker, just because we've got presence and we can see people's availability. So, what's our environment? Like I said, we are well into innovation, well into integration. We're pretty much predominantly a Microsoft site, and probably going from what Darren said earlier on, not wishing to pour scorn on Microsoft, but it's probably something we wouldn't have looked at before. But they've got everything so right now in terms of when they're actually releasing, especially now with Wave 15 coming along and their production cycles and when they're starting to release stuff. But because we've got Office 2010, the SharePoint 2010 and Exchange 2010, We can make calls from anywhere. We can IM from anywhere. It's simple to use, and it's simple to train as well. Windows 7, we went live with Windows 7 4 months before its worldwide release, because we tested it with Microsoft, we tested it with the guys in Dell. We were that confident in its capability, and by us staying at the forefront actually means, we are that much more productive as a workforce. We've actually got the tools in place now, which will, in future years, means that we don't have to try and shoehorn anything in. Trying to stay ahead of that game. One, it's a great place to work. Hopefully my enthusiasm is coming across there. But you actually get to try out these new technologies, and you actually see a difference that you and your department can make to the organisation. On top of that, and I haven't mentioned this at the moment because I keep going on about the Nortel PBX back into police, is because we haven't got one. We don't have a PBX within Newport City Homes. We ran enterprise voice with OCS 2007 R2. We had a high availability server in one of our DS sites. And although not automatic transfer should one go down, perfectly suited our needs. We've had, in 18 months, 2 outages of voice, both through exchanges and not necessarily through the internal hardware. It's already been brought up that in the public sector and private sector, we've got the cuts. Collaboration is key to everything that we do. They want you to be more productive, and they want you to be, give you more penny for your buck and more work for your buck, so to speak. Lync couldn't actually be put in a worse economic time, but actually, for itself, in my opinion, it's actually the best time, because now, hopefully from what we've seen today, you can actually see that those benefits and that level of collaboration between your partners, between organisations who work together, between your strategic partners and internally, you can get that advantages, you can make those savings, and you can actually increase productivity. Thank you very much.